Okay, for 39, this is going to be a product rule. So here we go. So we've got two functions. So we'll call this first one f, the second one g. And again, remember f times g. When we take its derivative, it's going to be the derivative of the first one times the second one unchanged plus the first one times the second one's derivative. Okay, so we've got f is x, and it says you do not need to expand your answer. So we're going to take the math that again, we will follow directions exactly. 3.6x, so I don't need that, but I guess I'll put that. So the derivative of f, okay, this first one is just going to be, remember, you take the derivative of x, the 1 comes down, and then we're going to get x to the 0 power, which is 1. So it's the 3.6 is in the denominator, so it's just going to be 1 over 3.6. For this part, this is x to the minus 1, so let's write this as 3.6 times x to the minus 1. When we take its derivative, the negative 1 comes down, so the plus becomes a minus. Let's go ahead and do that one. So it's going to become a minus, and it'll be negative 3.6. But then we get x to the minus 2, subtracting 1 from the exponent there. Okay, so that's our derivative of f. Still kind of messy, but it is what it is. The second function, g, is x squared plus 1. This is a little nicer. When we take this derivative of g, again, you should have g of x, but I like to have a shorthand that works. Okay, so this, take the derivative of x squared, the 2 comes down, subtract 1 from the exponent, you get x to the 1 power. That's it. Derivative of 1 is 0. Okay, so then now we just put the pieces together. Derivative of f is 1 over 3.6, and I'm going to put parentheses around it, minus 3.6 x to the minus 2. Now if you wanted to, you could put the x, put it over x squared, but it will take both ways. On the test, you will get credit for both. This is a correct answer. Okay, all correct answers will get correct. And then that's times g unchanged. Okay, so get the pieces together correctly. X squared plus 1. Plus, that's this part here. Now it's the f with nothing done to it, the f function. X over 3.6 plus 3.6 over x times the derivative of g, which is just 2x. Again, you could distribute through and you should get the right answer, but they say you do not need to expand. So this is our answer right here. No expansion needed, which is probably really good for this first part here. Now this one, distributing is not too bad, and get some x canceling out. It actually looks a little bit nicer if we do that. But over here, with the foiling, it might not be too bad. You could turn 1 over 3.6 into a probably a decimal. Anyway, no need to do it. Let's just leave it like that. That's what my suggestion is. Even if you have to show your work, that's what it says. No need to expand. Okay. And the last one is going to be an example of a quotient rule. Okay, and so we've got a numerator over a denominator. You could use f and g for these as well, but I like numerator over denominator. When we take this derivative, we're going to get the derivative of the numerator times the denominator. Nothing done to it. minus, because remember that comes from the negative exponent when this is coming up. We're going to have the numerator unchanged times the derivative of the denominator all over the denominator squared. Okay, so what's in the numerator? It's x squared plus 4x minus 1. What's in the denominator? It's x squared plus 3x minus 1. What's the numerator's derivative? The 2 comes down, so we get 2x to the first power. And that's all there is. 2 minus 1 is 1. Derivative of 4x is going to just be plus 4. X to the 0 power, which is 1. And then the derivative of negative 1 is a constant. It's a constant, so the derivative is 0. Derivative of the denominator. The 2 comes down in front, so we get 2. Subtract 1, it's x to the 1 power. 3x, its derivative is plus 3. X to the 0 power, which is 1, so we don't even write it. And derivative of negative 1 is 0, because it's a constant. So these are all our pieces. We put them together. Yeah, see, we do not have to expand. So I know they said that in some of the ones in the homework, but then they wanted some reduction. Anyway, derivative of the numerator is simply 2x plus 4. The denominator unchanged is this trinomial minus the numerator unchanged, x squared plus 4x minus 1 times the derivative of the denominator, 2x plus 3. That'd just be a mess to have to multiply all that out, right? And then you just take that denominator, x squared plus 3x minus 1, and you square it. That's it. That's all we need to do. Okay, so we've taken this, and we now have a function that is the derivative function. So that's all 40 questions. I'll be posting these soon. Study, take a look at things, make sure you know how to do things. Actually be writing things down, because that gets you into your memory, your muscle memory, as you do that. Thank you.